Hey Cancer, how are we today? Just doing our weekly readings. Being so close to the end of the month, we are going to be doing the monthly readings for November. So, looking at what November has in store. This weekend, we will be doing the big shadow work reading for the full moon, as well as some Halloween readings. Okay, so keep your eye out for those. Please like and subscribe to the channel, just a small channel, so I do really appreciate the support. But today we are starting off with the Believe in Your Own Magic Oracle deck. I do also have here the Slavic Folklore Lenormand, as well as that gorgeous True Love Oracle. All right, so see what's going on for you in November. Okay, Cancer, what's going on for Cancer in November? What does Cancer need to be aware of for November? Well, one flying on out there, Cancer. Okay, so that one that flew out there, that the Storm card. I do want to let you know too, that's card number 44. For some reason, that does feel important. So 4-4, for some reason, quite important at the moment there. So you may be seeing quite a lot of repeated fours or things like that. It does say every hurricane comes to an end. So, it does sort of lead us to believe that either you have been going through, something very tumultuous in your life, or that you will be, at the start of November, having some sort of hurricane in your life. I feel like for a lot of you, this hurricane might be a person. Okay, so, but we are seeing that every hurricane comes to an end. So during November, we are the storm has passed, so to speak. So I'm not really getting very clear time frame on that. I do feel for some of you, the hurricane already has ended, and in November you're kind of realizing, oh, cool, that part of my life is now over. That crazy energy is now finished and done with. Whereas, for others of you, it is still you're still in the eye of the hurricane, and waiting for that storm to pass completely. So I do feel as though some of you are sitting there waiting, going, am I just in the eye of the storm? Is there more to come? And I feel like for a lot of you, the answer is no. That's the end. Okay, so if you're sitting there worried that you're sitting in the eye of the storm, and you're waiting for the next bad thing to happen, or you're waiting for more chaos to ensue, you're nearly at the end of that. So rather than being, just in the eye of the storm, so to speak, we're almost through that completely. All right. And Princess, you can be your own knight. So we see the princess there up in her tower, but she's got that big sword ready to cut down anything that gets in her path that blocks her way. So, she's ready to save herself. All right, so definitely this element of you standing strong and firm, and saving yourself, not relying on other people to come in and save the day, standing strong and firm, protecting that soft princess within, but by, standing outwardly, being this strong knight with this big giant sword. All right, so, regardless of your gender, we are looking at that princess energy, so that that sweet, soft center part of ourselves, that those vulnerable sides of ourselves, shown by that princess element, and then being your own knight, protecting those by yourself, standing strong and firm, and like I said, ready to cut down anything in your path, as well. Okay, Cancer. What's going on for Cancer in November? With the Lenormand, I do like to divide it up by start, middle, and then end of the month. So I will be drawing 2 cards for each of those. Cancer, what's going on for Cancer, November 2023? Okay, I'm just going to grab some clarity here as well, Cancer. Can I just get clarity for that very first card, please? And can I just get clarity for the end of November for Cancer? Oh, okay. So we are sort of seeing a pretty clear message here, Cancer. What we do have here at the start of November, we do have the Reaper first and foremost, okay. But that one is the one I've clarified, and I've clarified it with the masculine energy there. So pretty straightforward message. That was followed through with the Sun card, okay. So that's that storm, those storm clouds breaking, allowing that sun to shine on through for you. So like I said, for those of you who are still sort of going through this hurricane at the moment, the start of November, we definitely are seeing the ending of that, and coming out into the sun once again. The storm has passed, the sun is now shining. But what we're sort of dealing with here, with the Reaper and the masculine, clarifying that there. The Reaper is, it does talk about things that have changed. Like, I'm kind of feeling the way that it's just changed the meaning slightly because of the deck and the masculine defining that there. But the Reaper really is normally that scythe energy in the standard decks. So it usually does talk about a big change, something that has changed suddenly or dramatically, unexpectedly even. So I feel as though this is part of what that hurricane is all about, is that, for a lot of you, I'm feeling that it's a past sudden change, a sudden break from something in the past here. In this particular deck, it does sort of come through as, being a bit of a danger to yourself. I feel like this is you here, Cancer, with that masculine energy. So regardless of your gender, once again, you are embodying that masculine energy. And up here in your head, the masculine is kind of the one that tries to act non-emotional, protect their feelings, and that being your own knight, and really sort of controlling your emotions, and not allowing those emotions to shine on through. Maybe trying to control every little thing in your life, and that's why we've sort of hit this hurricane, because you've hit something that you can't control, with this particular card here. And I do feel that for some of you, you are being a little bit of a danger to yourself, in that sense of you're trying to control your emotions rather than protect them. Okay, so you're kind of being too protective of your emotions, in a sense there, that you are not allowing yourself to actually have them. You're not allowing yourself to be in touch with your emotions. You're kind of ignoring them, and thinking that you're just trying to be in control of them, whereas you're not actually, allowing the awareness to seep in. So, in order to control our emotions and stop them from leaking out everywhere, that's fine. That's one thing. But what we're sort of seeing here is that you kind of in that danger zone of allowing them to bubble over, because of the fact that you are pushing them down so much, and you're not actually recognizing the emotions, and then allowing yourself to control them because of your self-awareness. You're just sort of being domineering and very controlling of your emotions, rather than letting yourself have them and then controlling them. If that kind of makes sense, you kind of trying to, I feel like it's trying to really push them away altogether, rather than allowing yourself to just have them and then worry about, controlling them. You can't really control your emotions unless you are willing to accept them, and be aware of what the emotions are that you are trying to control. Yeah, it's coming through very oddly, but it's in regard to, this tumultuous time that you've been going through, things have changed. Something has changed, and it feels like you've been left in this giant, hurricane, where a lot of you, something may have sort of felt like it's swept through your life and removed things from your life. There's been a sudden break from things that you thought were going to be in your life now, but they're not. You've kind of broken away, but you're breaking away from yourself as well, is kind of really strongly coming through here. But that's just sort of, there is, it's just like that inner reckoning that, did I break away from something? It's just that questioning, I feel like, because you're avoiding those emotions. There's obviously something there that you may have broken away from, or had something break away or change, that you weren't prepared for that to change, or you weren't wanting that to change. So it's kind of questioning yourself about, where does that leave me now? How do I get through that? How do I get to the other side of that, where I can actually accept that and be okay with that change, or that thing that is now gone? All right, but we are definitely seeing that you will find the light at the end of the tunnel. All right, with the Sun card here. So I do feel that with the Sun card, a lot of personal revelations coming through. With those changes that you've experienced. I feel for a lot of you, those, it feels like this cyclone, this hurricane's been going on for quite a while. So, I am getting, for a lot of you, the time frame is quite long, where you've been sort of feeling as though you've been in this sort of, been thrown around every which way, for quite a while, but we are seeing a clear end to that, and a lot of personal revelations that are leading to the end of that. So opening yourself up to, allow those feelings to seep through, in the sense that you're recognizing and being aware of what you actually are feeling, rather than just pushing them down altogether, is actually going to help you reveal, where to go next, how to get to the sunlight, how to, get that hurricane fully gone and over and done with, in order to, have that sun shining once again. The sun really is all about happiness, okay? So you definitely do have happiness coming through for you. It's just a matter of, allowing yourself to feel it. I feel for you as well, Cancer. All right, but we do have, toward the middle of the month, we're getting a sort of change of direction here, because once that sun comes out, you're able to focus then on other things. So whatever it is that this hurricane is for you in your particular situation, like I said, I do feel for some of you that it was related to a person. All right, but once we have these personal revelations, and we can sort of see a little bit more clearly through that storm, and get through that phase, we are seeing toward the middle of the month things totally taking a total change of direction for you as well. So there is that side note too, that those personal revelations are going to bring about more changes, more unexpected changes, which is coming through in the way that you're focusing, moving forward. We do have here in the middle of the month the ring and the clover. Okay, so definitely seeing toward the middle of the month, a lot of good fortune and short-term luck for the middle of the month when it comes to the relationships that you are finding yourself involved with, platonic, romantic, even the relationship with yourself. I feel here, Cancer, quite a lot of good luck when it comes to being able to move forward, basically, is what I'm sort of feeling from that. Being able to start to take a chance on relationships. While you had this hurricane energy going on, you may have felt as though you just cannot, take any risks by letting people too close to you. Whereas, toward the middle of the month, you're now able to start taking that chance, and taking a bit of a risk to move forward with relationships in mind. All right. And then toward the end of the month, we are seeing the clouds followed by the book. Okay, so you're really entering into the unknown here with the clouds and the book. Just within your thoughts, the way that you're looking at things, thinking about things, really sort of, the cloud is very, heavy on thought and logic and thinking things through, and that personal knowledge as well, because we do have a strong element of wisdom and knowledge comes through with the book there. I do a lot of the time I get that kind of trying to increase your intelligence, reading a lot, book smarts type of stuff, being very, researching facts before before you take it. I feel like, you may take some risks towards relationships and then go, oh, hang on, maybe I should have researched that person a little bit better. For some of you, this is definitely talking about, like it can actually be talking about, you've been thinking about someone or something quite a lot and doing your research on them. So, I do have that clarified by the heart space. Okay, so very interesting that we are sort of looking at, finding information, finding more knowledge, but you researching that, you finding that knowledge just, within yourself, within, a lot of the time this can talk about you sort of keeping tabs on someone on social media, that sort of a thing, trying to just understand them a little bit better, trying to, delve into the unknown aspects of this person and sort of see what they like and what they dislike and those sorts of things. So some of you may be sort of getting your internet stalking out of your system toward the end of the month. We're definitely seeing that as a possibility with those particular cards. All right, but I do feel that, overall, it is kind of you ready to, really thinking about where you want the next chapter of your life to go and how you want that story to read, the story of Cancer. What exactly do you want your story to be from here, especially when it comes to love? So we do have the ring and those starting to take a chance on, opening up to relationships once again, and then, clarifying within yourself what love is to you, what you want your story to be when it comes to, love. But we are also seeing here quite a strong balance because, being up here in the logic and the headspace, thinking things through quite carefully, but also, acting from love, coming from love, all to do with love, romance, and unconditional love for yourself. All right. So we definitely do see you sort of starting to research just within yourself what is love for you, Cancer, and what do you want love to look like for you in the next chapter of your life. So I do feel, though, that for quite a lot of you, we are taking some chances to move forward in relationships and connections, and really finding, finding a future in love. You may be, I know everyone's a bit different when it comes to those sorts of, the way they look at love and whatnot, but you really actually starting to open up to finding the possibility of love for yourself, of finding that unconditional love, and really, really honestly opening up to thinking that through in a very sort of clear manner, of what it is that you want and what you're willing to accept with love and whatnot as well. But we'll grab some of the love oracle for you as well, see if we can get some extra info about that. Okay, Cancer. What's going on for Cancer in love during November? Okay. Heading toward a lot of potential, Cancer. Opening yourself up to love is really going to be, once again, I've got this hurricane coming through again, though. So we do see, the distorted feminine. Okay, so for some of you, we had you clarified as the masculine energy. So once again, regardless of gender, this is a past person, obviously, for you. This may be linked up with that hurricane of emotion that you are suppressing. But we do have the distorted feminine. So this is someone who is, overly emotional. They act rashly. They they don't look at things completely clearly. They may still be very nurturing and motherly, because it is the feminine, but it's the distorted feminine. So it's somebody who still needed to grow, and somebody I'm kind of feeling that, when I see the distorted feminine, quite a lot of the time this is somebody who has issues around um, intimacy as well. So somebody who has, maybe suffered sexual trauma, and they still have issues with the way that they look at sex. And somebody who, I'm just getting this a lot very intuitively here. Somebody who's very, they can come across as very immature emotionally, and they act. I'm just getting that they acted very rash because of emotion. They came from emotion rather than being able to balance that out and be logical as well. They were just sort of always acting from emotion and acting very impulsively, and it may have caused some drama for you, being the masculine energy there. So it's a bit of a struggle. Sometimes it can be a power struggle between a distorted feminine and a masculine as well. So I do feel as though this is partly to do with that hurricane energy. So even if that's not an actual person, it just asks us to look at, the distorted feminine within ourselves. Like you did clarify as the masculine energy. So, obviously your masculine energy quite strong. So really balancing that out with, raising your feminine energy as well, raising, and connecting more with the emotional side of things, connecting more with that nurturing side of things. Okay, so and that really actually helping you balance everything out, because I am seeing quite a lot of masculine logical energy coming from you yourself, Cancer. So definitely be balancing that feminine energy out just within yourself as well. All right. So as we saw with that princess card, you can be your own knight, but it's also important to remember the princess inside. Once again, regardless of gender. But we are headed. What I'm seeing here, when I've clarified that, you looking into the potential of love for yourself toward the end of the month, and then taking a chance to open up to relationships in the middle of the month here. We are seeing a lot of fruits of your labor, because we do have the abundance card as well as the intimacy card. All right, so definitely opening yourself up to be more emotionally intimate with people, to be more vulnerable with people. This can talk about physical intimacy as well. We do see, the cozy little couple in the bathtub here. So, but with the water reference, we do definitely see a lot of, emotions coming through with that. Water being such a strong element for you as well, Cancer. It always does talk about the emotional side of things and really taking that on board. So I am feeling here, Cancer, like I said, seeing quite a lot of logic and thought and masculine energy from you. So it's very important to balance out that emotional energy as well. But we also see abundance. All right, so really, really heading towards wealth when it comes to love for you. So it's kind of like you have a heart of gold, and you are going to find somebody else, giving their heart of gold to you. It's kind of like that pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. So, what normally happens after that storm has passed, the rainbows come out, and then, you're finding your pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Okay. I did actually have a similar message for one of the air signs yesterday as well. So maybe worth checking your other placements there. But it can talk about, entering into connections that helps you gain more financial aspect as well. You may be meeting someone who's quite wealthy, that sort of stuff as well. But it's more along the lines of feeling as though meeting someone with a heart of gold, or seeing someone's heart of gold, finding that pot at the end of the rainbow. And I am feeling that for some of you, we are recognizing that, even this feminine energy, even if they were a distorted feminine and they still needed to grow and change quite a lot, I feel like, at the end of the day, they did still have this heart of gold. And the reason that they were a distorted feminine was because, they acted from emotion, and they, they were trying to follow, it's hard with the the distorted energies sometime, because that they, a lot of the time, they still are just human after all. We all have our flaws, and just because they still need to grow doesn't mean that they don't have a heart of gold as well. And maybe that's part of what you're revealing to yourself as well, is that maybe this person was acting or speaking out of their distorted feminine, but at the end of the day, they were just seeking this as well, and they just wanted to be loved. The distorted feminine, a lot of the time, their pursuit of love can come across quite brash to others, but at the end of the day, it's that they just want to be loved. They want to be nurtured, they want to be loved, they want to be taken care of and protected as well. Which is, it's hard to sometimes see it from somebody else's perspective, when you feel as though they've treated you badly or whatever as well. But yeah, just a random little side note there. But yeah, that's what we have for you today, Cancer. So, you're more than welcome to check your other placements. But hopefully that resonated for you. And I hope to see you all again soon.